Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Movie Pop, and today we're here to talk about Toy Story 4. Lawrence's favorite movie he's seen this whole entire year. Isn't that right, boy?
Yeah, loved it.
All right, so Toy Story 4 is currently holding a 97% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, followed by a 96% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So you could say everyone is popping a fresh, hot, banging boner for this movie, despite it being rated.
I'll get back to my thoughts, by the way, on the video later. Just I don't want to keep you guys hanging, but I'll get
Boner
back to
thoughts
that. I'll let you
forthcoming.
know. Sorry, DJ. Continue. Yeah.
It's a competent film. What can I say? It's Toy Story. It's made by Pixar. It's a Walt Disney film. It's competent. It follows the same story beats as what you've seen before, with small variations to the story. My expectations for this film going in. Honestly, I haven't seen a Toy Story film in God knows how long.
Dude, Toy Story 3
Wow,
came out
really?
like 10
10
years
years?
ago.
Holy
I think it's
shit.
almost been, yeah, about 10
That's
years.
probably why I can't
Yeah.
remember it. The only thing I can remember from Toy Story 3 is the fact that John Goodman was in it, and I love me some John Goodman. All right.
Hell
Hell
yeah. Who doesn't love
yeah.
himself some John Goodman?
John Goodman always delivers the good, man. And yeah, that's all I remember really. From any of the
Yeah.
previous Toy Story franchises, that last film stuck on me because John Goodman has this rich, hearty like voice, and it just yeah.
Yeah.
Enough said about that. So those are my expectations going into the film. I wasn't expecting a bad film. Wasn't expecting a good film. It's been so long. I don't know. So I just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt too.
I just saw this film literally about 2-3 hours ago at the very most. What can I say beyond what I've just said already? It's a competent film. Did I laugh? No. I think once I had a chuckle, which I was surprised because, you've got some. Yeah,
Really? Oh man, I must love kids' humor because
really.
actually
Yeah, that
that's
was
a
disappointing
decent
because I
bit
was
on this.
expecting at the very
Yeah.
least to laugh and to, most of these Pixar films, kind of like The Incredibles or the last film we reviewed but didn't post, which was the Yeti film, Missing Link. I thought was very, 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 had some very subtle adult humor sprinkled all throughout. So the kids could laugh at their poop jokes, the
Yeah.
adults can laugh at the adult jokes that the kids don't get. So I was expecting that. I didn't get that at all from this film, and I was kind of let down because Key and Peele are actually supporting actors in this film. So I thought they're going to lend some of their comedic weight to this and really make a gut bursting, like knee slapping comedy, and wasn't quite that. So, Lawrence, what were your expectations going into this, and your general impressions?
Well, like I kind of told you like what I was expecting beforehand. I had like no desire to
I'm
watch
sorry.
this, but at the same time, I think it's because Toy Story's been around for so long that I was just expecting like the same old thing all over again. And it kind of was. It kind of
Yeah.
is like the same old story, but it also feels like a little bit newer. Like they always find a way of doing that, like kind of like making it fresh again. And I feel like it wasn't I didn't find myself like bored or anything like that. Like it's still just good old Toy Story, but the problem is it's just like it's the same story they've told so many times. Like how many times are you gonna watch Finding
Right.
Nemo, you know?
Apparently
It's just
twice.
like yeah, so yeah. So but yeah, my expectations was they were low, but I think I was because they were so low, like I really didn't want to watch it. It actually turned out to be okay. So I mean I kind of I enjoyed it. It was good. So, I mean, with that said, let's just jump right into what the movie did good,
Cool.
what the movie did bad.
Right
Let's
off
hit
the
the
bat,
pros.
man, the Pixar is really coming into their own in terms of a visual effects production studio on par with perhaps Industrial Light and Magic, because some of the rendering in this film
Yeah,
was damn near photorealistic. I was just awestruck by some of the surrounding environments, how they were rendered. It looked photorealistic. So I really appreciated that from the artistic
yeah,
perspective.
for sure. Yeah,
I thought the story, again, like you said, it was kind of run by the numbers on par, for course, with what we expect from Toy Story films, but it had a little bit of a twist. So,
yeah,
this, obviously, the third film was the finale to the trilogy. This is kind of like a post finale with a bittersweet addendum. So I thought that was nice because it wasn't exactly like a cookie cutter cash grab. You know, it was kind of a a little bit of fan service and a little bit doing what they did before, but it was different enough where it was enjoyable. And that's either a credit to the screenplay or the fact, as you said, it's been 10 years since the last film came out. So Lawrence, yeah, what about you, man? What are your
Yeah, so I thought I mean they've always had like a really good cast. It's just great to see them all come back. I found some of the new characters as well were really enjoyable. Keanu Reeves is in
did you
this
find
as
out
well.
who Keanu Reeves was just by the voice?
Not like I knew who he was playing, so I was kind of like I already kind of knew, but like I tried to like listen and hear the Keanu Reeves voice, and it was kind of hard to be honest, because he's talking in a way you've never heard him talk before. Yeah. Totally out of his element. So, because Keanu Reeves is a very kind of calm and collected, but he's playing like an eccentric, daredevil biker.
So I'm glad you confirmed that because I haven't confirmed it myself either, and I didn't know going in. But just watching the film, I knew who was in it, and then once I heard his voice, it was only like a couple scenes during the movie where I was like, "Oh, that's Keanu Reeves." But then, like you said, the rest of his performance, I couldn't really discern that it was his voice.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he did a good job. Everyone did a good job. That's definitely a good pro on its own. Good cast. They always just stuff you'd expect from a Toy Story movie. Nothing really has changed there. It's all just a good set of actors all around, and they all did a good job. I thought the story was very serviceable. I mean, it's a typical Toy Story story, and they keep it semi fresh. I'm not going to say they're totally changing the story, but it's pretty much. I thought it was like relatively fresh, even though it was the same thing. I thought the new characters they added. I think I already said this. The new characters they added were really good. I liked them. Also, I think it was the bird and the bunny. Is that Key and Peele?
They were the best part of the movie. That's funny. I think one of their gags.
Yeah, for me too. I thought I thought they were really funny. I think that's pretty much everything. There was even like. I know it's like a kids movie, but it even made you kind of like sad at some scenes as well. So it's always got that emotional effect, regardless of how old you might be. Makes you laugh, makes you. I mean, not cry. I'm tough to make cry, but you know what I'm saying. Like makes you sad, makes you happy, all that stuff. So it was good. So let's jump right in now into the cons. Some of the things.
Some of the cons. Woo, man. You know what? So you know me. I follow a lot of movie and industry news. So I've heard a lot about the pre-production for this film. And the way that the studios kind of marketed this film leading up to its release, they talked a lot about the screenplay readings amongst the actors, and kind of the running line was that, wow, we have the script in our hand, and I've got to tell you, like, I've never cried as much reading this screenplay as I have for any other film that I've done. I mean, it's a really heart-wrenching ending. Mm-hmm. So hearing this from the actors and the producers of the film, I'm expecting some really gut-wrenching stuff towards the end, and it definitely, at least in my opinion, did not deliver on that promise. That was a con for me. Yeah. I also heard that Buzz Lightyear was less than a supporting character in this iteration of the franchise, so I was expecting him to be a bit marginalized, but not as much as I saw in this film. I think he only had maybe 2 minutes total runtime of actual talking dialogue in this film, which is kind of disappointing. Yeah.
He was definitely like less than supporting characters, really small. I think they're just trying to give spotlight to the newer characters.
Which is understandable,
That's all I can think of. Next generation of Toy Story movies.
For the Toy Story cinematic universe.
The
TSCU, baby, it's coming at you. That's it for me for cons, man. What about you, Lawrence?
Also, just because I said I'd get back to this, one of the things I was talking about in the beginning that I hated so much is like me and DJ were just talking about like if it's a kids movie, so you're gonna go in, and I mean with any movie like this, you can't watch it in peace. There's gonna be crying children, and that's not really their fault. That's that's just what you have to expect. I had a kid next to me who coughed in my face. I'm probably gonna get sick off of it. It's just that's just one thing I hated about it. It's not the movie's fault, just how the film is. So that's a con right there. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the movie, it's just weird. I found it kind of strange that the main character of this film is basically just a fork.
Mexican.
Did you say
I'm sorry.
pigskin? Oh, is that what he is?
No, I thought you were talking about the little girl.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't even. I don't see race. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. So like, yeah, I just found it a little odd that the newest character they added was. I mean, I actually thought he was funny in the beginning, but then like you don't really see
Uh,
him that much after a while. So I would have liked for him to be in it more, but then I also found it kind of strange that like the newest character they come up with is basically a spork.
literally some shit they pulled
So
up out of the
I
trash.
mean, I guess that lends itself to the comedy, but yeah,
Right.
yeah, pretty much. And I mean, yeah, I don't. So it's yeah, like you said, like they're kind of shifting away from all the main characters. It sounds like they're just trying to finalize the story with the main characters, and it sounds like they're just trying to transition into like, oh, these are now your new standard Toy Story characters. Like, yeah, like a lot of the original characters, except for Woody, of course, don't really have too much screen time, especially
Yeah.
especially Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to see
Wow.
that he's never there at all. He was on
I
screen
think,
maybe 15 minutes
dude, like,
over like
dude,
a
like
2 hour
two
film.
minutes at most. I think Slinky had more of an impression and probably more like speaking lines than Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of
Probably.
like Tim Allen was like, "Hey, like, you need to pay me more for this film." They're like, "No, sorry, Tim. Like, we need too much money, so we're gonna write you out of most of the film." You know,
You only
right?
get like 5 minutes. Sorry. Another thing I didn't like is that the whole thing takes place in one spot. And I don't. Maybe you understood. I don't understand the relation of how the toys ended up from Andy
Yeah.
over to this
No.
girl. Like, how did that? Did he just like? I think in Toy Story 3, I think he just gives it to her.
It's
Is
been
that
so
what I
long.
think happened? I think I have to watch Toy Story 3 again. I think that's
Yeah.
like where they explain it. But it would have been nice to get like a refresher. It's been 10 years. Like, don't expect me to watch like the entire Toy Story universe
Right.
going into this
Yeah,
movie.
a little
you know?
recap would have been good, especially
Minor
because they
gripe,
did have,
but-
at least in the beginning of the film, they did open with a kind of a little bit of a brief recap about their history with Andy. So seeing that handoff
Yeah.
or how that exchange happened would have been nice. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm expecting like a recap because I've been there so many movies. I was expecting them to say like, "Oh, this is what happened," you know, or at least the timeline of like him and Andy and his owners and like everything that happened. But
Yeah.
they didn't really go over that at all. Kind of just jump right into it. But you know, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of annoying, but it's fine. It's a kids movie
Right.
at the end of the day. So, yeah, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. Why don't you go ahead and actually we like to do a little. Did you already mention the scores?
I did this time.
This is
Yes.
sitting on. Okay, perfect. Never mind. We're good then. So let's just
All
jump
man.
right
Yeah,
into
I'm
the
gonna give
scores.
this. The audience and the critics scores are in the 90s. I'm gonna give this an 80. Honestly, I don't think it's deserving of that high percentage rate. It didn't do anything to push the narrative or the franchise forward. It was totally beyond competent.
Yeah.
But just short of excellence. So I'm gonna give it. I think it's 3.5 bags.
Yeah.
Is that 80%?
80%
Four,
four.
really?
That's a
So-
4 bags of
oh,
popcorn.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. 4. So 4 out of 5 bags of popcorn. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna give it that too, and I just want to explain. I kind of want to preface that with like, you gotta review this as a kids film. Like we're not reviewing this as an action film or like groundbreaking like award-winning cinema. I mean, this is at the end of the day, it's a kids movie, and so like I think for kids, for the audience that it's intended, a Pixar movie, it's very serviceable. It does a great job. It's not like a terrible story. Characters are great. Like they do a lot of things right. So I think a 4 is for me as well is very well deserved. It's why Toy Story has been popular for so long. It's more of that. It's just
Yep.
well done. So yeah.
All right,
think that
guys.
pretty
Well,
much
hey,
wraps it
listen,
up.
if you guys want to watch more awesome movie reviews, more awesome trailer reactions, make sure to follow us on social media, on Instagram at MoviePopOfficial, on Facebook at MoviePopOfficial, and of course on Twitter at RealMoviePop.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on Facebook here, whichever. We want to hear from you guys. Helps us so much. Me and DJ love reading any comments you guys leave us, anything like that. Any help always is super appreciated. As always, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
guys.
watching, guys.